there, and welcome to the Animag podcast.
Hey, what is up everybody, and welcome back to Animag, baby, the #1 anime podcast on the planet. I don't care what they say, it's true. Don't look that up. It's your host Asylum sitting here with...
Damacus.
And we are rolling right along, baby. This is episode 11 of the podcast and episode 6 for season 1 of Orange. What'd you think, man?
I loved it. This has to be the best episode so far.
I'm not going to tell you guys my rating right here at the beginning of the episode, not even a minute in. Okay, it was a 7 out of 10. Dude, it's a good episode, and like I said in previous podcast episodes, man, for this show earlier on, that around this mark it was going to have to start hitting. Otherwise, oof. And boy, oh boy, did it start hitting.
Yep. Even though we got to see the bitch in this episode, too.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to see a lot more of her now that the story is kind of progressing. I hope not, but I feel like we're going to see her at least in the next 3 or 4 episodes pretty dominantly.
Yeah.
That's shit, dude.
That bitch.
Yeah,
I hate that bitch.
There's some characters in anime that I've really disliked, and she is really taking the cake.
Now, to be honest, who would you rather? Mommy or Ueda?
It's Mommy all day, bro. Mommy is batshit crazy, but at the end of the day, this Ueda, it's Ueda. This motherfucker.
Who cares? She's a bitch.
I care.
You care about her?
At least have the decency to say her name right.
Nah.
Good
she has
Lord.
to be less bitchy. She has to be less bitchy for me to get her name right.
Yeah, I guess. Let's dive in, man. So, the episode opens up. Okay, picture this. Sunshine and rainbows. They're back at the fucking festival. And the note says that on July 15th, the last day of the festival, Sua's gonna trade post with Naho so she could be with Kakeru. Here's the thing about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
This gang of friends is trying so hard to get Naho and Kakeru together. It's fucking ridiculous.
I like it, though.
I do like it also, but man, in this episode too, specifically, you're gonna see some shit towards like the middle endish of it, and they really come through on trying to get these two people together.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy. And they're at the festival, and Kakeru asks Naho a question, which is gonna come back into play a little bit later. He asks Naho that between the 4 boys, if any of them were to ask her out, who would she want it to be?
I thought it was 3 boys.
I think it's 4, right? Might be 3.
No, there's only 3. There's
Okay.
3 boys and 3 girls.
Right, okay. I don't know why I wrote 4.
Must account of Ueda.
She probably is a boy, dude. For how much this bitch wants to fight all the time, she probably is a boy. But he asks her this question, and she gets all like shy and nervous, and she can't answer it. Just typical Naho, you know, how she acts. But then the question gets turned around on Kakeru. One of the girls, what's her name? The bread girl. Her family owns the bread company.
Azusa?
Azusa comes in and asks Kakeru the same thing, and he basically does the same shit that Naho does. He gets all nervous, and he's like,
I can't answer.
And then boom, the intro rolls. And guess what? You're not gonna like this. I started skipping the intros.
Yeah.
I just don't have time to watch it every single time, bro.
It has to be a banger. Like, I do love the intro.
This one is good. I like it a lot. I'm rating it pretty high, but dude, even on Rent a Girlfriends, I skip it. I just don't have the fucking time to watch this every time.
Watch Rent a Girlfriend Comes.
I'm watching every single one.
I'm watching it every single one.
I may have just lied to you guys. So it opens with Kakeru and Sua talking at the festival, and Kakeru seems a little sad. He asks if it would be okay if he fell in love with Naho, but he's scared to. He's scared that there's going to be more regrets that comes about him doing this. And he says that dating Ueda was a massive regret. First of all, do you fucking think? Okay? She's a bitch and she's ugly, alright? I ain't trying to be mean, but fuck it. And second off, I understand he's consistently asking Sua, like, oh, can I fucking like Naho, or can I talk to her? Can I hang with her? He's doing this out of respect for his bro, but at a certain point, it's like, just go for it, bro. He told you at least 3 times by this point, yeah, sure. Just do it. Stop being a puss, man.
But he doesn't want to have regrets.
I understand that too, but like, sometimes you just gotta shoot your fucking shot, man.
You just gotta shoot it.
So, again, this is another one of those episodes where Naho's thinking about the letter, and in this one, she's really thinking about trying her best to not fail the letter yet again. And Kakeru asks where she wants to watch the fireworks, and she says the pool. The letter wound up saying that that's exactly where they would watch the fireworks. So things are flowing good so far in this episode in terms of her doing what the letter needs her to do, which is good. That's a good sign.
Very good sign.
Episode's rolling right along. Wada wins the stupid Mrs. Elia contest.
Which we see, apparently there was a fucking guy in the Mrs. Beauty pageant. Or
yes, there was. Hey, it's 2022. The show came out in like what, 2018?
2016, I think.
It's 2016. There could be a guy dressed up as a girl and try to win the Mrs. Elia if they want to. And also, this was a beauty contest, right?
Yeah.
How the fuck did Wada win?
Exactly.
Was
Waiter
this
is
the
not
hot
that fucking...
dude? Not that hot. Is this the hottest girl that this town has to fucking offer?
To me, I felt like that contest was like the most bitchiest.
Rigged. She paid her way to the top. And then Hagida got last place for the guys with only one vote.
And he wanted to shoot for 0.
He wanted nothing.
We seen that Azusa.
Azusa was the only person that voted for him.
And then Sua's like, man, they should just get together.
Right? Just fucking do it already.
I accept that. I wouldn't mind seeing them being shipped.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. There probably is a ship for that already, to be honest.
Yeah, we're just late to the party.
So, cuts after this. Naho's on her way to the pool, right? Getting ready to go watch some fucking fireworks. Guess who she runs into?
Yeah, guess who she
Just
runs
take a guess,
into?
y'all. Take a fucking guess.
Yeah, take a guess. We give you about 3 seconds.
Give
to
you
guess.
3 seconds.
1,000.
The bitch!
1,000.
She runs into the bitch. She runs into Wada and her fucking friends. And she tells Naho that she needs to go and bring some boxes to class 3-2. And Naho's like, yo, I can't. I got some shit to do. And Wada's like, well, in that case, let me have your hairpin. You know, the little hair clip that Kakeru gave her?
Yeah.
Why is this bitch so obsessed with this fucking hairpin?
I guess Kakeru never gave her anything while they were dating.
Oh, yeah, good point. I wrote this in my notes right after this part that I wrote. I wrote, broke ass bitch.
Broke ass bitch.
Can't go to the store and buy your own hairpin. You gotta try and steal Naho's every turn, every chance you get. And naturally, Naho didn't want to give up her hairpin, so she's like, fine, I'll bring the fucking boxes, in hopes that she would make it back to the pool in time to see the fireworks. But this was all a plan by Wada, so Wada could try and get to Kakeru. But guess what? Guess the fuck what, man? Good guy Suwa, our fucking boy, saves the day again. Wada gets up to like the pool entry, and
Sua's like, you know the pool is closed, so I'm gonna have to turn you around.
so they go, also, if you were looking for Kakeru, he's not in there. And she was like, well, I wasn't. Yeah, Hagida fucking came up with this plan. Hagida goes, if you're looking for Kakeru, he's not at the pool. And then she's like, I wasn't even looking for Kakeru. And then he goes, well, that's funny because he was looking for you. And she's like, what the fuck? Oh my god. And they're like, yeah, he's at the boys soccer club. She hauls ass, right?
Yeah.
This is another one of those scenes where like the gang is coming in clutch to try to make this relationship happen.
Ooh, I like it.
So they cuts to Naho. She's going up the stairs and she like starts to see some of the fireworks happening and she's like, oh no. And she runs into her 2 girlfriends and they're like, dude, first of all, these aren't even boxes for the class. These are the Mrs. Elia prizes. Give us the boxes and go to the fucking pool. And she was late to the pool, but she wound up wearing her hairpin, which Kakeru appreciated.
But before that, we see the bitch saying, that fucking 4-eye freak.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because she went to the soccer club, and guess what? Kakeru wasn't there because he was never looking for her. She, like, kicks a bucket or some shit.
That's what you get, bitch.
So obviously they're at the pool trying to have this nice romantic scene, right? And guess what? Naho answers the question from earlier in the episode. She's like, I want you to ask me out. And then he replies with a similar answer. He goes like, yeah, I'd like you to be the one that asks me out too. Or I'd like it to be you the one that I date. However the fuck he worded. I don't remember how he worded it exactly, but they both had the similar answers saying that they wanted each other, more or less. And they have a nice moment at the pool, holding hands, watching fireworks.
That scene was nice. Like,
I like
seeing
that.
the pool.
I thought she missed all the fireworks, honestly, because when she got there, nothing was happening. And I'm like, oh no.
Well, Sua did say something like, well, she just revived, but like, it's about to end.
Mm-hmm. But whenever she gets there and they have the fucking moment at the pool, there's a fuck ton of fireworks going off, like after the moment happens.
And you can actually see the fireworks from the pool, which I did like that.
Definitely, like, I don't know, it just didn't seem like it was about to end for how much went off when they were having their moment.
Yeah, it looked like it kept It was gonna be like a Walt Disney fucking fireworks.
I mean, I guess that does make it more special of a moment in the show rather than there just being no fireworks at all.
No fireworks at all.
And she's just like, well, I wore the hairpin. He appreciated that though, which was cool. Like, he could have blushed a little bit and he's like, oh shit, couldn't have wore that if the bitch would have took it.
Yeah.
The note pops up around this time in the show. The note says, from here on out, please make Kakeru as happy as often as you can. The letter comes into play a little bit later and it's a big come into play. Actually, 2 more times in this episode and it's a massive play. And right here it says, make him happy as often as you can. And then it says, I'm sure that will save Kakeru. Then it says that she thinks Kakeru's regret is not being able to save his mom. And she asks to please save him from this regret. But I don't understand that. Like, she already fucked that up. His mom's already dead in the present day. So I wonder if that moment just meant to save him from that regret was maybe like just have him mentally not feel guilty about it. You know what I'm saying?
So because she was fucking confused as well.
Because that part to me, like, she obviously can't go back again in time and make him not go with them to have bread on that first day to actually physically save his mom. So I think it just means to like try and talk to him about it and make him mentally not regret it. Because the letter says, if you do this, you may be able to prevent the accident. Meaning Kakeru's accident, which I can kind of, knowing how the whole episode plays out, I can kind of understand that part. And Naho finally does what the fuck I wanted her to do from the very beginning. She read ahead in the letters, and the letter says, this is where it gets a little sad, actually. I think this is where the whole episode kind of arcs and goes into the darker side of it. The letter says that saving Kakeru from the accident won't save him, and that the letter wants her to save his heart. So pretty much what the letter's saying right here is that no matter what, she can't save Kakeru. All she can really try and do is just make him think a little differently. But the way that I'm reading into the letter right here is that, like, no matter what, you know, even if she prevents him from killing himself, he's still going to be sad. His heart is still going to be hurt. She needs to not look at it in a sense of just trying to save him from killing himself, but to try and make his heart feel better. You know, make him not have so many regrets.
Yeah.
The letter said that the accident happened at night, at like 8 p.m. at night, at an intersection near his house. And it said that he committed suicide. And it said that the group only has one regret, and it was that Kakeru died. Heavy, bro.
Yeah, that was kind of heavy.
That part right there, like when she read ahead into the letters, and I'm like, fuck. Because you know what's going to happen. You know at this point, I mean, I called it before we even knew. We knew he killed himself, so you knew present day Naho was now going to learn what happened. Very sad. And we get a future scene right here, like pretty much mid-episode. It cuts to them at Kakeru's grandma's, and they're looking at pictures of him as a kid. And guess what? They're sitting at a table, right?
Yeah.
With his grandma, and someone just straight up goes, was it really an accident? Bro!
I'm trying to figure out who it was.
I think it was Sua. It was one of the guys. I couldn't really see whose mouth was moving, but it was definitely one of the guys that starts it. And he's like, was it really an accident? And then one of the girls is like, yeah, we need to know what happened. And then the grandma's like, okay, y'all want to throw some smoke at me? Slides them, get ready for this, Kakeru's suicide letter to her. My God. And it basically said to tell everyone that it was an accident and that he was going to see his mom and apologize to her. And he apparently rode in front of a speeding truck, and that's how he died. So I can see now, knowing the accident, I can see how they think it's an accident, but it can also be suicide. And then that part where it said he was going to see his mom and apologize, in my head, I was like, wait, what? His mom's dead. And then I realized it. I'm like,
it gets way sadder towards the end because you find out why he committed suicide.
According to this, right, he wants to go because obviously he's sad about his mom, and his mom killed herself, didn't she? I think we learned that in an earlier episode, because in here later on it's going to say that she was like mentally unstable and shit. Mm-hmm. Right here, basically based off of the letter that the grandma had, I don't think it was an accident. I think he actually killed himself.
Well, there's a reason why he killed himself.
Yeah, he's sad.
Yeah.
It says it right there. He's going to see his mom and apologize to her.
I know that, but he finds something that causes him to...
Oh, okay. So something in a future episode, maybe.
Yes. I don't want to say too much.
Okay, yeah, don't spoil it too much, but...
It is very fucking sad.
Just give us a little cock tease, you know? That's all we needed. We don't need you to spoil it, but just a little something. So, cut back to present day, right? The note is starting to say stuff like, ask Kakeru about his mom and try to keep him from choosing death. And it says to take on his burdens to save his heart. Okay. So they're gonna go to like, I guess this is another festival, but not like a festival where they have to work at. I don't remember what it was called.
I do not remember either.
Basically, it's just a festival in the town, right? Everybody kind of like dresses up and goes, and there's like vendors and shit. And guess what? Magically, the whole fucking gang is gonna be late and not show up to the thing that they're at. And it basically puts Kakeru and Naho on a date. And it was a plan, because guess what? The gang's actually over there. They're just like, haha, no, the plan is working fine.
Now it's an actual date for them.
Like, dude, I need a group of friends like this. Get me a hottie, and then they stop at absolutely nothing to make me date her. Where my friends would just be like, bro, he can figure it out on his own. So Naho winds up, they're at the festival right here, and Naho winds up asking him, who was the girl that he was interested in. This is a callback to the episode when he said this and ran away at the end of it, when he's like, yeah, and like scurries off. But he says that he's no longer interested in her and that he's now in love with her. But I think Naho 100% right here knows that he's talking about her.
If she doesn't, she's blind.
I mean, they had the whole pool scene. She's got to know that this is her that he's referring to. And not long after this, they go to this little prayer thing, and Naho says that she wished for him to be happy or something like that, or wished for his happiness. And he says he didn't wish for anything, but instead he talked to his mom. And then she tries to ask like, oh, well, what message did you send to your mom? And he's like, well, that's a secret, which I honestly kind of thought was a little rude. You don't ask somebody what they prayed for.
Yeah.
You know, for all the religious people that might listen, you don't, like, if someone says some prayers and you're like, all right, what was in your prayers? It's not necessarily something you do. I thought that was a little rude of her, but I understand she's really trying to not fail the letter. And the letter says to ask about his mom, and he obviously said he was trying to talk to her right there. So she's just trying to do what the letter said to do.
Yeah, so she doesn't have another freaking regret.
Exactly. And guess what? We're at the part of the episode where things just get really fucking sad.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, okay? I wrote this down in my notes. They end up going sit on a bench. Why the fuck is it always a bench? It's always towards the end of the episode. And why does like all the shit always unfold on a fucking bench in this show? Whoever made this anime was just like, it's always going to be a bench. So anytime I see a bench pop up, I'm like, get the notes out. There's some shit happening.
Oh shit, get the notes out.
And they sit down and they're just chilling, and Naho starts asking him about his mom. And at first he got a little snappy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like she asked him something and he's just like, no. I mean, obviously I understand why. He was just shut off about it. I mean, your mom passed away. You don't want to fucking be at a festival on what is presumably a date and start talking about that. But then she just straight up ask him if he feels guilty at all and if he thinks he should have saved his mom. And there's like a fucking massive long pause. And then guess what? Oh, want to know why there's a pause? It's because he's crying. And then he starts talking about his regrets, and the first one being what he did on the first day of school. And he like unfolds this whole story how his mom was going to go to a new hospital that day, and he had promised her that he would go along to get her settled, but instead he went out with the gang because he was excited to make some new friends. Right here he said he figured he could just apologize to her, and he texted her saying he wouldn't make it, but he never got a reply. Ooh, I got real literal goosebumps on my arm right now, dude. This show does a really fantastic job at kind of like putting you in his shoes to where it makes you feel that, like, what if that was me? I understand.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's how I've been looking at it, like from his perspective, and I'm like, damn, now I see why that's like his biggest regret, because that shit would eat me up.
Because, you know, your mom, after school, she would always be like, hey, how was school? She's just checking on you.
Exactly.
And when he gets home,
there's no reply to his text. You know some shit happened.
Because your mom is always going to be the first person that's going to worry about you.
Yeah, I understand, like, not everybody has good relationships with their mom, but for sure my mom is like my best friend. So that shit would eat me up.
That shit would eat me up too.
And then also, like, I don't know, maybe that's just his way of thinking too, was like he was excited to make friends. But if I was that new in a town, I would have just told him like, sorry guys, I really can't go. My mom's going to a new hospital, blah, blah, blah. I gotta go do that. Like, they would have understood.
Yeah, I think they would have understood.
I would not have given two shits about some bread on a bridge and ditched my mom, who I knew was, you know,
always
mentally
gonna be by my side.
Yeah, and like he knew his mom was mentally unstable. He he says that that's him going out to have the bread. He said that was the thing that pushed his mom over the edge. And he finally like tells her that at the shrine, he asked God to tell his mom how sorry he was. And then Naho starts to cry. And I'm like, good God, bro. And then he stands up and he's like, I need to be alone for a little while. And right here, I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
Tell me this dude's not going to kill himself at the festival. But instead, he just goes sit on another bench on the other side of the tree. Like, I need to be alone, walks 4 feet away from Naho to sit on a different bench. Like, that's okay. And then guess what? The whole fucking gang shows up at the wrong time. Major sad moment.
Azusa and Takako, I thought it was just them.
Yeah, the 2 girls.
Yeah.
The fucking gang shows up at the wrong moment. And then the girls are like, where's Kakeru? And Naho goes, he's over there, and points to the bench where he had got up to go sit to be alone. But he wasn't there. He's just gone. So now, in my head, I'm freaking out for this guy because, fuck. And she gets a text from him saying that he was going home early and he thanked her for the evening. But Kakeru was not responding to any of her texts. And Suwa comes by on his bike to Naho's house, and he says that Kakeru hasn't been showing up to practice much lately, okay? And right here is like the final seconds of the episode. Right here is what made this motherfucker a banger. Naho was about to tell Suwa about the letter, because she's like, maybe if someone else knows, we can do this quicker and more efficiently. And she's about to bring him on board to help save Kakeru, and he looks at her and says, everything will be fine. And he goes, you got a letter too? Did fucking Suwa have a letter this whole time also?
Yeah.
Dude, what in the fuck? I'm thinking back to like older episodes, right? When the whole gang was together and the 2 girls were like, yeah, she's hiding something. Do you think Suwa knew at this moment that Naho had a letter also and that's what she was hiding?
Probably.
How long did this motherfucker know that Naho also had a letter is what I want to know.
When he read his letter and started seeing that shit was changing,
oh,
he was probably like...
True.
Because remember when Naho didn't give him his lunch and she walks away and then Suwa was right there and she was like, this is not in the letter.
Right. That's a good point.
And then I was going to ask you, I was like, did you catch something? And you was like, yeah, nah.
Also, maybe like just seeing her, remember when she brought the towel for him because he forgot his umbrella? Maybe Suwa also knows about all that shit. So then he's seeing her bring a towel or say things that the letter's saying to say, and he's just like, oh shit, okay, she has one. But I don't understand why he wouldn't just, at the moment that he realized it, be like, oh shit, and then hit her up and be like, hey, Naho, I got a letter also. You know what I'm saying? Like, more brains on the scene is better for the situation.
Yes.
But this episode, woof, I am seeing a steep incline as to how good these episodes are starting to get. I rated this shit a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's the highest so far. Fun to watch, easy to watch, and when the shit unfolded, it really unfolded.
I'm gonna go with 7 out of 10 as well.
Ooh, fuck yeah.
Because, like...
It was good. It was like, not great. Ending, it could be a lot better.
But that ending, though...
That ending, 110%, made me want to immediately watch the next episode and just write notes on it right then and there. But I'm trying to not do that. I'm trying to not do that, even though we are getting into the juiciest part of the show.
Juicy. Very juicy.
I really do think that this anime is going to wind up with a good overall rating because of the back end of the show, not the front end. If it was just like the first 5, it would have a terrible rating. I think just off of my scores alone, it would have been like a 4. But if I start rating these things pretty good, at least over a fucking 5, I really think it's going to wind up as like a 7 or an 8 or a 9. I think it's going to wind up being up there because I'm going to actually tally all the scores. So you need to be writing down your scores for each episode.
All right.
I'm going to have to take yours and mine. But that was it, guys. That was episode 6 of Orange. So far, probably one of the best ones we've seen.
Yes, hopefully it continues on being the best.
Yeah, I hope it just goes up from here and it has a great out, and because this this won't have a second season, right?
I don't think so. Okay. Even though everybody's like, oh, it needs a second season. I was like, dude, that's it. That's it.
Is it one of those like endings where you just can't, well, not like a cliffhanger, but where you just can't do anything more from it?
I think it's one of those endings. You can't do any more with it.
Okay. I like those kind of endings for like one season shows where everything right at the end just kind of like fixes its wrongs, fixes its rights, and just closes itself out.
Yep.
What I do hate though is when you have a show like that and then they try to fucking do a second season when everything's already been closed out. I would hate to see that happen.
Orange needs to remain season 1.
Okay.
Because so far, all the animes we reviewed is having a second season.
Yeah, that is true, man. We got Rent a Girlfriend coming soon.
Masamune-kun Revenge.
Masamune's having a second season. You know what won't have a second season? Rascal. guarantee that, but whatever.
But I
mean,
was like, holy shit, is it because of us?
it might be, bro. It might fucking be. We're taking these old ass animes. I mean, this one's not really that old, but we're taking these animes and we're kind of like bringing them back into the spotlight. Maybe more people are watching and they're going, you know what? Fuck yeah, numbers are up. Let's make a new season.
Let's go.
I'm gonna take full credit that we got second season of Rent a Girlfriend to happen. You're goddamn right, that was us. Fucking right, bro.
God.
So that's pretty much it, guys. That was our discussion / review of episode 6. We're both rating that pretty high, which is solid. I'm excited to get into the next episode. We're actually, what does it have? 13 episodes?
Yes, 13.
So we got like 7 more to watch? Yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck, man. We're getting close. We are getting close.
We are getting close. And you know what that means. We're getting closer to...
Oh, Rent a Girlfriend, baby. As much as I'm starting to like become invested in Orange now and I'm getting excited about it because the story's starting to move, in the back of my head, I'm just like, get through this so we can start Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah, it gives us something to
because we're doing 2 seasons back to back. We're doing Orange and then we're doing season 2 Rent a Girlfriend pretty much back to back. We'll have maybe a week of off time in between them. That's a lot, bro. That's a hefty schedule for a few months straight.
It's just that Rent a Girlfriend is going to move slower since...
Yeah, we absolutely will not be able to get ahead on Rent a Girlfriend because it's just going to be weekly and we have to wait to watch it when it comes out, which is kind of shit, but also a little exciting. Because it's like, if I cave, if I want to know bad enough what happened in Orange, I'm just going to go fucking watch it, but won't be able to do that with Rent a Girlfriend. I'm going to be sitting on pins and needles all week.
Pins and needles.
So that's pretty much it, guys. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next week for the next episode. Until then, have a great one, and I hope you stay safe out there. So long, everybody.
And sayonara.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to visit our website at www.animag.org. See you next time.